Hello everyone, Ian Quayle from IQ Legal Training. Crikey, Christmas is looming now, isn't it? Today I thought I'd sort of revisit an area that I've talked about quite a lot, and that concerns issues relating to escalating ground rents and also issues associated with estate rent charges, both of whom, both areas have received a lot of criticism over the year, and of course problems for conveyancers. Problem being that we have Scrooge-like owners of reversions and owners of rent charges or rent charge owners who are using the interests in land that they have to extract exorbitant amounts of money from leaseholders. So let's just have a look at what we can do with regard to that. First of all, if we look at estate rent charges relating to freehold properties, to make sure either there's a cap or ceiling on the estate rent charge, if you look at the deed in which the estate rent charge is created, or alternatively, we look to make sure that if a Section 121 Law Property Act 1925 lease is created, that there is provision for some form of system for surrender with some form of cost or cap relating to that surrender, or ideally, making sure that there's some form of provision within the deeds that the estate rent charge must be reasonable, and in the event of dispute, some form of ADR. Going and now talking about ground rents, we've seen Taylor Wimpey agreeing that they're going to remove their provisions that enable ground rents to double. That's courtesy of the CMA investigation and negotiations between the two. Again, with regard to ground rents, just a word of caution: if we've got a Scrooge-like landlord, then they may be prepared to review their lease so that the ground rent doesn't double every 5 or whatever it is, but what they'll do is put a rent increase that is linked to some form of indices, either something like inflation, interest rates, etc. Well, again, be careful with that on the basis that we don't really know what interest rates will be in the future or what an indices will be when the review takes place. So we might be jumping from the frying pan into the fire. So when dealing with Scrooge-like rent charge owners or landlords, be careful, make sure that we are protecting our clients. Final word really on this issue: a lot of landlords are now looking at what they can do in connection with the service charge and generating a profit relating to management fees out of service charge because they're losing the opportunity to generate revenue from the ground rent. So on that happy note, on the 10th day of Christmas, thanks very much for listening, and Merry Christmas and all the best. Thank you.